then it was post-produced into the movie. So the creator, with their hand, was creating the form in the purest possible way. So
live.
Yeah.
It was made live.
So we were thinking that okay, what 3D printing gives us is this freedom that we don't need to rely on other people to create things that we need. Now we can do it by our own, and we wanted to express it into a little bit in a way that it's of course not possible to do it this way. But when you think about it, right now, when there's a lot of hype around virtual reality and the headsets that you put on your head and the controllers that you have. I saw a lot of movies this year that did exactly the same thing that we did 3 years ago. So with the controllers, you can create objects in 3D space and create worlds that surround you in your virtual reality environment just as easily as we did it for this festival. So somehow we thought, okay, this is not possible, but a few years later, at least in terms of virtual reality, it's happening already. So that was the message that we tried to push, and I think it reflected the times that we created the visual identity for very well.
So to sum it up, we had an actor who actually moved his hand around the table, and it was recorded, and this recording made live was actually the moment when he created our key visual that was later translated into 3D object and was, for example, 3D printed. So he made a move with his hand, and then we had a physical statue, physical object that was 3D printed. And we also had this 3D object that was animated and was made our key visual for obviously very high res because it's made from the vectors. So it was also the base for creating all the promo materials for the festival, starting from posters, invitations, program, even the light signs that you can see in a second. The other part of the festival was the exhibition, and it was the very first exhibition of 3D prints and mass personalization in Poland. We had really nice guests from all around the world. We had a professor from Los Angeles who works with NASA on 3D printing with space dust. So the guy wants to send the huge 3D printer to Mars to gather the dust from the Mars and to print houses for the people who are going to later come and colonize the planet. It might sound a bit funny, but he actually made a thing like that in Brazil, where he created concrete houses for people living in favelas. Each house was built in 24 hours because he had this really strong concrete pipe with the arm, and it was scripted to create a really simple square form that after 24 hours was actually a simple house. That was something better than these people had for many years. So this is not just the theory. And we also had a really nice product designer from Wellington, from New Zealand, who actually made boots, like shoes that were ideally adjusted to the size and shape of your feet. So he was printing them in 7 different resolutions or types of the material. So it started from very thick and strong to very elastic in the end. So this shoe was looking a bit like the Adidas does this year, but it was like 3 or 4 years ahead, and it was like made fully custom ideally fitting your own feet. Yeah.
The shoes were based on 3D scan of your feet, so it's the same that we later on used in ShipGeek. So this is a part of the exhibition that we also did, and this a little more about. So basically, a very interdisciplinary project that, from the one hand, required to build a branding that will translate the message that the current edition want to push, and on the other, a lot of work on the exhibition part to create something that also was very connected into the edition. It was a very successful edition. 16,000 people came to visit it. It was a record year for the festival, and so it really worked out good for the festival. And this is some samples of the branding, the website, and this is edition that we did 1 year earlier. And this one was also very interesting. I think even more from the perspective of the stage design. For this edition, we thought about making, inviting people to take, to contribute to the way the stage design will look like. So we created a tool that was available on the website of the festival, which allowed you to customize the little stools, the ones that you can see in the corner, just with few parameters that you could control. You could create many different forms, and people were invited 2 weeks before the festival to use the tool to create the pieces. So during 5 days that the tool was available, we had like 600 designs made by people. We took 60 out of them, and we produced those things. So all the stage design was done from the polypropylene, which was CNC milled by a machine that just draw lines on this thick plastic material, and then everything was folded, so like an origami piece. So we treat plastic in a way we treat paper to make origami objects, but the thickness and the strength of the plastic made it a very strong piece, and all the stools were used during 9 days of the festival, and afterwards the people that created them could take those stools with them home, and almost every stool was taken home by the people, and later on we saw people using them at their homes as a regular piece of furniture, and some of the people even added those stools into their portfolios and sent to the architecture studios to ask for a job, showing, wow, look what we just made, what I just made. And one of those portfolio came to the architecture studio that we shared space with, and they were like, hey, this is not yours, we know who did it. And actually it involved a very big discussion with some professor from the school of the person that wrote an email to the architects that, hey, this tool actually was created by our student. She used the configurator, but what was the final outcome was hers and not. And then he feels that it's her own creation. So basically, the discussion was around how far the customization gives you ability to feel that this is your own creation. Are you an owner of it or not? So a very like a big thing when you think about it, because we as the creators of the tool were thinking that we are just giving you this ability, but we didn't thought that people can think that the object in the end they will feel that this is their own creation. So that was quite interesting discussion. So this is the branding that we did for this edition. Yeah.
Okay, so another thing is more connected to the event production and the scenography, so the spatial design, and also involves or it's based on the technology. So the technology will be the key factor of the success of this event. This was a premiere of BMW i3 car, which is an electric car. First in BMW's offer. It was held in the Architecture Society building, so it's a really representative, nice building in the city of Warsaw. What you can see here is the augmented reality application made completely from scratch in the studio, and it had 4 different scenarios that were activated on a separate stools. Each scenario was activated by a different graphic printed on the stool, and the scenarios showed different abilities or translated various technological aspects of these unique cars. So the whole animation that you saw in the application was, you could see it on the tablet, but it was only virtual by the augmented reality engine. And also this whole setting around, so the whole set design was matched to give this very minimalistic, futuristic feel of the car and technology. So together with the application, it gave you this very clean and modern experience. So this is how it looked like. So this, what you can see here is the four stools and the really original set of the lightning above. So it all made this whole room look very three-dimensional, a bit artificial, futuristic, but that was the idea, to highlight the change made by the BMW. So it was. And there was a specific project for Poland, so there was no scenario from the client. They just wanted to do something nice for the premiere. So we had to think about the context for ourselves. So this is what sometimes happens, that client is not capable of giving you a very precise brief. They just have the product and they know they have to present it or sell it. So you have to think for them what actually is attractive about the story they want to tell.
This is one project that also was done with augmented reality technology. This was